It's War Weave Friday. On this episode, we talk about how China steals everything, even from Russia, Eric's new book on critical minerals security, how NATO is shortening their summit next week to fit Trump's attention span, videos of Russians getting blown up, and more. Okay, let's go.
Conflict, politics, military-industrial complex, technology, war. The Flash Traffic Podcast.
Friday, where we weave wherever we want to weave. I think we should start with China. China. Let's start with China.
Yeah, let's
Let me
do
share
it.
the screen. Let's do it. Look at this. Look at this article. It makes me laugh.
Oh my God.
China unleashes hackers against its friend Russia,
No.
seeking war secrets from the New York Times.
No, that's fake news. That's a lie. That's made up. They would never do that.
Why would China steal intellectual things?
Oh
From
my
anyone.
goodness. This is inflammatory.
What? So China is hacking into Russian databases and stealing
No.
Russian information about the war. It says the subtitle of the
No.
article is, since the war in Ukraine began, analysts have monitored a series of intrusions aimed at stealing information about weaponry and warfighting. I guess my first question is, what are they stealing? Like, what do they
Everything.
want to know about
Anything. Everything.
how to kill as many of your soldiers as possible? What's the worst way to fight a war? Do you think China's sitting back and like, hey, if we were to do this the worst possible way, how could we do it? Maybe we should ask Russia.
Well, maybe they should ask North Korea. I just read an article that what out of the 11,000 guys they sent over, like 6,000 are wounded or dead already. I mean, I assume they're getting lessons learned. They're getting everything they can. Anything to do with their weapons development, missiles, anything, and then modern warfare.
Yeah. So there's an article that just came out today, and I don't have it teed up for the screen share, but it's something like North Korea to supply 25,000 workers to Russia in exchange for drone technology. Something to that effect.
Makes sense. That's something Russia would do.
What do you think China wants to just to see get some data on the military performance of their Desertcross 1000 golf carts in combat?
I would say everything. When you get down to core national interests, in the intelligence game, there are no friends. There's only competitors. If you remember many years ago, I don't know, 10 plus years ago-ish, there was a big scandal when Germany realized that the NSA had hacked Angela Merkel's cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And we do that to Canada. We do it to Australia. We do it to the British. Yes, they're allies. We also collect on them. China also collects on Russia. Every day of the week, it could be more intense, it could be more focused, etc.
Yeah.
But Chinese core national interests, security interests, which can revolve around getting more information on Russia plans and intentions, leadership, drama, and anything to do with weapons and technology. Yeah, they're going to go after it. They're not going to not go after it because supposedly you're a relationship with no limits. They're going to collect on you. I think this is a bit of a nothing burger. But maybe for the layman, you don't understand the game, and that just goes on every day.
They don't need to hack into Russia to learn how their Desertcross 1000 vehicles are doing in combat. I can show them right now.
Yeah, just go on Twitter.
Yeah, I've got some
something teed up.
Video right here. Let's see.
Boy.
Here we go. The old-fashioned driving down the road.
I see it.
The combat video. Here we go.
Dirt road, open field, about lunchtime.
Yeah, we got a whole, 6 guys in the little golf cart.
Max it out.
Here we go.
Uh-oh, where are we going? Where are we going
First
with
warning.
this? Going
And
by a
then,
vehicle.
and they're gone. They're absolutely gone. They have disappeared from the earth completely. There's no trace, except for this guy.
Oh,
You
he's
see
like,
that?
I'm out, dude.
This one guy.
He's like,
There's
I'm out.
So we're
Isn't
watching
it?
a video. There's a catastrophic
Landmine.
landmine explosion, and it doesn't look like everything is vaporized. And then there's one guy that still survived and just runs away.
I'm always amazed at how many people live from this stuff. Like you got, two guys on a motorcycle hitting a landmine, like one dude runs away. Like I don't even know how that's possible. He's got to have TBI and fragments in him, but he's alive.
You and I and everyone that watches this war has seen enough videos from Ukraine to know one thing, and that is when you're on a road or a trail or a heavily used ingress route, and there is a vehicle blocking or destroyed on that route, I guarantee you 99% of the time the enemy has mined the area around that vehicle because he knows you're going to try to bypass that left or right. And in this case, it's obvious that they were going to go try to go left. So surviving in Ukraine 101, you got to go really slow when you pass vehicles in the middle of the road because that's where all the landmines are. They're in the intersection of roads and trails, and they're at dead, destroyed vehicles. And then that one guy just runs out. And
I call that a clue.
Let's continue. Let's continue on this theme because it makes me happy. Second video of the Desertcross 1000 Chinese golf cart. These guys are getting chased by an FPV drone. And there's at least 8 dudes in this car.
Oh, geez.
And
they just jam-packed it.
This guy, he's also not wearing his helmet because he thinks he's an operator.
Oh, bro.
Look at this guy right here.
Always wear head protection.
Kevlar, buddy. Should have worn your Kevlar because he caught an FPV. He's the only one without a Kevlar helmet on. And he catches the FPV drone right in his back plate.
Are you showing it or just talking about it?
Yeah, I'm showing. Oh, sorry. I'm watching the video. Nobody else is.
I thought it was me. Like, I got issues.
Sorry.
I got a lot of issues.
Sorry. Here we go.
Oh.
Sorry. Here's the video. Here we go.
Every dude they can fit in that thing. Oh, dude.
Yes. Boom. And look at this. Sorry, Sack. Look at this guy right here. And I'll pause it right on him. Boom. This guy catches it. Here's the crosshair for the drone. Catches it right on the back. His body is probably blown apart, like into 1,000 pieces. And he's the only guy not wearing a Kevlar helmet. Unfortunate for him.
Well, that's Russian tactics in a nutshell. Go for broke, YOLO. Whatever happens, happens. Fuck it.
Last golf cart video, I would be remiss if I didn't show this classic.
Does it get better?
This classic. We've all seen it. And the title of this video is Russian Cosmonauts Carry Out Practical Training in the Zaporizhzhia Direction.
Oh, boy.
Basically, these guys, if you remember this video, these guys get launched into outer space.
Oh,
here we go.
Boy.
Just driving around. Hit a landmine.
Me to the
moon. Good God.
Yeah.
That's an anti-tank mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Good God.
And it's just,
I guarantee you someone lived in that. I guarantee you one dude's alive from it.
No way.
Yep.
Dude, they're all on fire.
I guarantee you a dude woke up.
Somebody's moving over here on the left.
I guarantee you, like that dude right there, like that dude lived. I guarantee it.
The guy that flew 40 feet in the air and is on fire.
I guarantee you he lived. I guarantee he wakes up,
dude.
rolls over, and like crawls. There's a dude over here alive.
Yeah,
they're like cockroaches.
But this guy looks like a crash test dummy flying through the air. He doesn't even look like a real human being.
That guy's moving. See, someone lived. Yeah, you look at this, you're like, no one's surviving this, like ever. Body armor.
Surviving that.
Yeah, the dude was crawling, dude. He lived.
That's a classic Ukrainian war video. Everybody that watches this war on Twitter
You know
is
what I like?
familiar with that one.
I like when a guy from one of these crews or whatever then gets on TikTok or Telegram, does a video. Vladimir Putin, if you only knew what was going on, you would fix it. My commanders are incompetent. It's a suicide mission. We just get blown up and killed no matter where we go. If only you knew the true conditions, you would fix this. Dude, you got to
Yeah,
be kidding me. You're the dumbest motherfucker out there. Putin
just no
doesn't give a
perspective.
shit about you. You think he's
No
changing?
perspective.
The corruption and incompetence starts with him. But you think if he knew, he'll save you from your inept commanders?
I think that's probably a bit of like Soviet/Russian brainwashing. Like
100%.
Mother Russia would never
Be
forget their
incompetent.
precious
Yeah.
troops. If only the Kremlin and Putin knew what was
Knew.
actually going on, they would put an end to this.
Like World War II. If only Stalin knew what was going on the front lines, this would never
Yeah.
happen. Are you kidding me? This is by design from
Yeah.
the top.
That's like, if only the Politburo knew how many children were starving in Russia and Ukraine during the Holodomor, they wouldn't have, centralized agriculture, whatever. They don't care. Do you think elites
Newsflash,
care?
bro. Yeah, they orchestrated it. Newsflash.
Yeah. System of a Down, nailed it. They always
Boom.
send the poor. They always send the poor because they don't care.
They're politically weak.
Yeah, they don't care. Nobody cares.
Nope.
Well, China steals everything. Not exactly a news flash. They probably steal our intellectual property from this podcast.
No.
I'm sure they steal everything.
Smart if they did.
There's two Chinese morons somewhere doing the Flash Traffic podcast in China, making fun of Xi Jinping right now, and America.
Probably they got the manpower to throw against it.
Silence. Yeah, they're making fun of how Xi Jinping says America, like we do with China. No, nothing.
I got nothing.
Silence. Okay, moving right along.
I've got nothing.
Hey, we have to, let me pull this up.
Big news. Is this going big?
Big news. I got to go to the, So here we go. Big announcement. If I can find it. There it is.
Oh, good Lord.
Boom.
Oh.
Eric Lyon just released latest book. The title of Eric Lyon's latest book is Mineral Warfare Redux, Securing America's Critical Minerals and Mineral Supply Chains. It is now available everywhere you buy literature. Are you excited? Your book is out?
Yeah, a little bit. It took a year to write this, and this is my third commodities book. So I've been writing commodities books for every day, 7 days a week for 3 years. I think I'm taking a break now. But yeah, this was just really an analysis of the U.S.'s critical minerals strategy. And I go back to World War I, because you got to have some kind of perspective of how we first started to get interested in our critical minerals strategy, and then how we basically lost interest in it. And only now are we just getting back into having an interest in our own critical mineral security. Still a lot of work to do, still a lot of contradictions, preposterousness, like the National Defense Stockpile. Like every nation should have a national defense stockpile of critical minerals. That's like you and me having like 1 month's rent in the bank, like just in case everything goes to shit. This isn't deep conceptually. Like you just do it. So if you want economic and national security, you should have a certain supply of critical minerals, like in warehouses.
I want to read the check because I think this is interesting. Just full disclosure, I have not read the book because my podcast partner has not given me a copy yet. When you give me a copy of the book and I read it, we will have a whole episode on mineral security about your book. You're selling the hardcover for $29.99.
Yep. Coming from a guy who's never published a book, get used to the prices. Soft covers $24.99. Kindle, I think, is $6.99. I think audio is $5.99. Yeah, once you start, Yeah,
Okay,
getting
Kindle.
back into the black
Do you
hole of
have
the publishing industry.
do you have artificial intelligence read the book? Is that the
No.
audio one?
Oh,
Yeah,
audio.
you read
Oh,
it?
okay,
Audio.
maybe it does. Yeah, I'm not reading it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you
Oh.
go on Amazon, yeah, and you pick like
They do it
9 different,
automatically.
yeah, 9
Yeah.
different voices. I picked an
Oh,
American woman age 30 to 40. That's the
why
voice I
can't
picked.
we're getting a little off topic, which we never do.
Oh,
But
we never do.
War Weave Friday, we'll talk about whatever we want. Why can't the user pick the voice that they want read to them if it's AI anyways? I want yeah. I just
I don't
want Bill
know.
Clinton. I want Bill
Yeah,
Clinton
couldn't tell you. I know a guy
to
who
read
just,
all my books.
yeah, he's got
Bill
a nice
Clinton
voice.
voice.
Um, where a guy just wrote a book about the history of 10th Group's involvement in invasion of Iraq, and
Was it
he's
you? Do you have a nom de plume?
no, I'm afraid, like, I'm like, dude, it's
Were
20
you in
plus
10th
years.
group or were you in
Yeah,
5th group? 10th group.
that was in Colorado
Oh.
Springs.
Oh, okay.
So,
So are you sure you didn't write this book? Are you
no, I
plugging
would have,
your other book?
I
Oh,
would have written it differently. I'm not even telling you the name of the book, but he's like, 10th Group headquarters is in Colorado Springs, FYI.
yeah.
He,
Thanks.
no, he wrote a history of the 10th Group's participation in the initial invasion in Kurdistan, but he's
Hmm.
reading his book by himself, like for audio. I'm like, bro, you could go on Amazon and press a button,
But
and it
it's
probably takes 10 seconds.
more authentic though,
Oh,
right?
100%. Maybe you're like, well, the author's reading it. That means something to
Yeah.
me. Does he have a good voice? Does he not have a good voice? Does he
Do
stutter?
you,
Does he drink water? Does he sneeze? I mean, I don't know.
but there's the intangible part of the fact that you have spent a year writing this book and
Every
you're
bit of
the
a year,
one that knows like every word. You probably wrote every word at least 4 times, right? Every
easily.
sentence is probably rewritten 4 times.
And it's
And
still
then
screwed up.
it's still screwed up, but you have an inherent understanding of the construct of the book and like
Doesn't mean
what
I have
is
a good voice.
important. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Voice doesn't matter.
Guess how many
Doesn't
people buy audiobooks on Amazon?
I mean like total?
Not
I
many. When you're
17.
talking sales, you don't make money off of audio. Just letting
Anyways,
you know.
all right, let me read the chapter. Let me read the chapter headings because I think your book would be good if somebody wanted to be articulate on the the minerals, critical minerals situation, since it's topical right now. I just want to read these, and I look forward to reading the book. Chapter 1: America's critical mineral strategy from World War I to the present, and the decline of the security situation. I'm paraphrasing here.
Right.
Chapter 2: Biden administration. Chapter 3: the Trump's administration, including Greenland and Ukraine. Well done. Chapter 4: the history of defense, the Defense Production Act. Oh, you can skip that chapter. Chapter 5 investigates the failure
Oh,
of the National Defense Stockpile.
it's a joke.
Okay.
Our national defense stockpile is a joke. It is mismanaged from the executive branch to the Department of Defense, or DLA, who's supposed to manage it specifically, and congressional oversight. You want to do an anatomy of a failure? Check out the national defense stockpile.
And I will.
Okay.
Chapter 6 is an overview of rare earths and how China came to dominate the segment. That's kind of scary just on its surface.
And they do dominate it, yeah.
Chapter 7 provides critical minerals index fund. Oh, here we go. If you want to make that cheddar, chapter 7. How basically you create an index fund on how to invest in critical minerals, how to make that cheddar.
10 different, or not, I picked 10 different publicly traded companies who are in the critical minerals sector, looked at their performance over the last 5 years, compared it to the S&P 500 index fund, and then you can make your own conclusion. There's tons of other companies you can do. What I don't have in here, I have an epilogue, which is a fictional chapter about a fight for the Electrostall factory and I can't even pronounce the name of the place. I want to say Kurakov, but then I heard like a Russian native speaker call it Kurokov. So I don't even know what the name of the town is. I could spell it.
I'd have to look at it.
But
I'd have to look at
anyways,
it. But
it's a fictional story about a Ukrainian reconnaissance team defending a steel factory. But in that area, that town, that really is where a lot of these critical minerals come together in Ukraine. And Russia's aware of this, a little bit of the minerals they have and don't have. And so is Ukraine, and so is the EU, and so is the US. So it's interesting that this town and this steel plant kind of is geographically located where all these minerals kind of come together that you could exploit sometime in the future. Just saying.
this week, the New York Times had an article on a town that's right outside of Kyiv called Zhytomyr, and it's where there's a huge lithium deposit, and the Ukrainians are now accepting bids, I guess, from the U.S. to extract the lithium. But I have been to that place no less than 10 times
That's a
in
lot.
the last 3 months. Only because I've never stopped and hung out in the lithium fields, but only because it's the direct route from Lviv to Kyiv. So anyone that's been to Kyiv in the last 3 years has been to that town.
I'm going to guess that's
Guaranteed.
going to go nowhere. Lithium isn't that rare. And now that the past couple of years, like the world has finally woken up to the importance of it, like in lithium ion batteries, which China dominates, by the way, because they figured this out about 10, 15 years ago. But there's a lot of lithium projects going on right now around the world. And the question is, how cheaply can you produce it? I'm going to guess you can't do anything cheap enough in Ukraine and with the poor infrastructure, obviously with the war going on. I'm going to say this is a nothing burger. It's not going anywhere. I read articles all the time about lithium deposits found or whatever. That's not new anymore. That's not novel anymore. You're not like, oh, I'm the guy who discovered lithium in country X. No, dude, there's 20, 30, 40 different lithium projects going on as we speak globally. So whoever can produce them the most economically and the cheapest and get it to market, those are the guys who are going to survive. There's lithium companies going to fall along the wayside for the next several years who are trying to get in on the new thing. It's not new anymore. Just throwing it out there to help expectations a little bit. If people want to start dropping money into this deal in Kyiv, like I'd probably hold off.
Chapter 7 alone, the index fund, you will make the price of this book back.
Now,
your investment strategy will make your $29 back.
Don't
it's like
get,
a free book.
No.
It's like a free book.
The soft cover is $24.99. Hardcover is $29.99. No one buys hardcover unless it's a Christmas gift. Like, you don't do it. Do the soft cover, save $5. Now, there's one company I'm going to plug. Always do your own research. Don't listen to anyone, ever. ATI Inc. was a specialty metals company that I checked out for the index fund. These guys are, I think, do like about maybe 8, 9, 10 finished specialty metal products. All of them are designated critical minerals. They got a low PE. These guys have hit the freaking wheelhouse of critical minerals and finished metals products. I'm just throwing it out there. It's in the chapter. Check it out. Do your homework. Do your research. It's all on you. But there's some good things out there.
But the book is 619 pages.
No, that's just for Kindle.
Oh,
for the print copy. No, but that is for Kindle. It's many more pages. It's 474 pages for hard print. So
that's a pretty big book. That's a big book.
3,000 hours, 1 year, 365.
And nobody reads a whole book anymore anyways, but they like to have it. And
100%.
if you like to have big books on your bookshelf, case in point, right behind me, I haven't read half of these books, or at least not all of them all the way through. You want on your bookshelf a big, heavy, hardcover book that talks about something that's very hard. Very hard. I've been told it's the hardest book ever. You're going to want this book because it is current events and it looks impressive.
Now, I want to say
that's important. That might be the only thing that's important.
Last half of the book is I call the mini chapter. I got 50 mini chapters, on all the designated critical minerals. And I wrote that part of the book first. You can't say you're an expert or knowledgeable on critical minerals if you don't have an understanding of each of the 50 minerals identified as critical by U.S. Geological Survey. So I don't just do a hand wave and I'm like, well, this is just a general thing. No, dude, I spent the first 4 or 5 months studying and analyzing the supply chains of 50 different critical minerals,
God,
all of them to the company level, as much detailed as I could get on open source research and conferences and talking to people, as detailed as get. So that's the last half of the book. You want to just go to
50?
cobalt, you want to go to lithium, just go to that
Who
chapter
doesn't
and
love
just
some
read
good
it.
cobalt reading?
How about
I
manganese,
think,
bro?
oh, manganese. Aluminium.
Vanadium.
How about aluminium? Hey,
That's how the British
I'm
pronounce
just kidding.
aluminum. It's
I'm
fucked
just
up.
kidding. Look, you know that internet challenge where you throw ice water on your head? We could do an internet challenge where you right before you go to bed, you pick up one of these chapters on cobalt, and the challenge is try to read the whole mini chapter without falling asleep. Can you
No one
do
will
that
ever
for
do it.
50 days straight?
No, no one could do it.
Almost impossible. Almost
Nope.
impossible. Can you
Negative.
imagine?
Wait till you get to
The
the graphite
willpower.
chapter. You're
Oh,
done, bro. You hit
no.
synthetic graphite, you're done.
There's nothing better than a good synthetic graphite chapter. Anyways, once I read this book, when you send me a free copy of the hardcover,
Hold your breath.
signed,
Let's do a
with
breath
like
holding contest.
little lipstick marks, love you, mwah, inside the inside cover. Then we will do a whole episode talking about nothing but minerals warfare. But right now, you can buy this on wherever you buy books. Anyways, congratulations. Do you feel better?
Thank you.
There's an old saying, I hate writing, but I love having written. Is that the way you feel?
Yeah, and I got a little bit of like Stockholm syndrome towards the end of the book. Like, I don't want it to be over. Like, you don't want it to be over. Like, I do this every day. This is my mistress. This is my life. I write all day. Every day I get attached to this. I'm passionate about what my writing. I don't want the book to be over. Now it's like a year later. Hey, the book's over, dude. Stop writing. Stop researching.
You're
Stop
dead
updating.
inside.
I'm
You're
like,
empty.
no, dude, I want to keep doing this. This is what I do every day. But no, dude, the book's got to end sometime. So I think like around sometime in May, I had to end it. Like, I stopped doing this, and then I didn't want to publish it. I'm doing the formatting, the editing. I'm like, it's time to go live. Like, no, dude, I got to keep working on this. It's not good enough. It's not perfect.
Well,
dude, you got to publish sometime.
You're moving straight. You're moving to the next book, and I won't give it away, but it doesn't have anything to do with minerals. You're moving away from minerals after 3 books.
3 years.
You are one of the most prolific mineral security authors.
That's sad
out there,
and
right
it may
now.
be true. It may be true.
I think it is
equally
true.
sad.
I'm not. 90% of the stuff I say is bullshit, but I really think that that's true.
This other book will be out most likely in several days. Like, I've written it. It took me a month to write it. I was doing the formatting and the cover work for this book. I'm like, I wrote this book, and I'll explain it. It'll be out next week.
God bless Chat GPT, but you don't use Chat GPT.
No, that's what you do, right? That's what you do.
That's me.
That's how you did your thesis.
That's right. Way before AI was even available. That would be amazing.
How long ago did you do your thesis? Like 8 years ago?
2016. I was christened a
9
PhD.
years ago. Well, okay, impressive.
And I've
you have
done
an
nothing
impressive
with
resume.
it. I've done absolutely nothing with my PhD.
I think that's obvious to the listenership. I think that's obvious to most people, but we don't need to go there.
But
Great
I have
accomplishment.
pontificated extensively on and off air.
Great accomplishment by you.
Thank you.
Thank you for pursuing knowledge.
Thank you. And you're welcome. Let's go to this article. I want to share this. Next topic in War Weave. Allies. Here it is. Newsweek. The title is, quote, U.S. pushing allies to limit focus on Ukraine in NATO summit communique. So next week, the annual NATO summit is in The Hague in the Netherlands. And after the summit, they usually put out this, I guess it's called a communique, wherein they express their focus for the next year or whatever. But apparently the U.S. is pressuring NATO countries, 32 NATO countries, not to say anything about Ukraine. What do you think of that?
If I'm
It's
NATO,
not
I'm
good.
giving the Trump administration 2 middle fingers. Like, yeah, cool story, bro. Yeah, go away. You go be a Kremlin nut hugger. We're not. We're going to actually pursue core national security interests.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Yeah, go do your made up fantasy world nonsense or whatever you do. If I'm NATO, I'm giving you 2 middle fingers. I mean, that's just an easy answer.
Yeah, I mean, so U.S. accounts for half of all NATO spending.
Okay.
So, I mean, just in that, they probably don't want U.S. to go away.
Okay, but what's the
there's
U.S. doing? So when the U.S. is advancing Russian interest in Europe, what benefit is the U.S. anymore? Am I missing something? Did we
there
forget why
still
NATO
must
was
be
created?
there must be a benefit because here's another bullshit thing that NATO at large is doing. So they're
Sure.
pushing 5% total spending of GDP on defense
Some
to
countries are already
appease
there.
Trump. At 5% total. So it's
Yeah.
so in
Don't forget the chart, dude. Poland, Estonia,
right.
Latvia.
Okay. In that number, at least the suggested spending for that number, 3.5% is pure traditional defense. 1.5% of that 5% number is this scam that NATO has come up with that is defense related. And it's basically can be anything: education, railways, road improvements,
Rare earths.
social programs, anything.
Cobalt.
Cobalt. We're going to spend 5% on cobalt of our GDP. And here's another bullshit thing about that. The target date is 2035, which is basically never. Fuck off.
Kick
Is
the can.
basically what basically what they're saying is fuck
Well,
off.
most of NATO is above
Yeah.
the 2% minimum. Only a couple countries are below it, like Italy, Spain. But they can't
2%.
even do
We're not
2%.
talking about 2% anymore, though. That's gone. Now it's 3.5% plus this
Some aren't even
bogus
at 2%.
bullshit 5%.
Italy's not at
1.5%.
2%. What do they care about anything?
They don't.
No, they
don't
want
care.
to hang out, eat good food, have a nice coastline.
This article is apropos to what we were just talking about. NATO summit will be short and sweet. The title from the Times is NATO summit will be short and sweet to suit Trump's attention span.
I believe that's an
End
accurate
quote.
opinion.
Yeah.
I think his attention span is about that of a common housefly.
Hey, that's what happens when you spend all your free time on Twitter.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You
Don't
got
do
the
it.
attention span of like
Put
a
it down.
gnat. It's like 30 seconds.
Put it down.
You can't do anything beyond your brain can't do it.
Yeah, they talk about brain plasticity, where
Right.
your brain is very susceptible to changes in the environment, and it actually changes. And how long has Twitter been around? 20 years now. I'm just
It's been
guessing.
that long?
Has it been 20 years?
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Maybe.
Let's look it up.
I think it's younger. I think it's younger.
It might be. That might be too much. But anyways, according to this article, the entire proceedings for the NATO summit is going to be 2.5 hours long for the entire thing. What?
Well,
Why?
I know if I can just come up with
Yeah.
I think you need to chop stuff up. The human brain is like the body. Like you can't run for 20 hours. The
Sure.
human brain needs a break. I had a battalion commander told me any meeting that lasts more than an hour is an ineffective meeting. So I got
Sure.
it. But chop it up. Okay, have as many meetings as you need to discuss or convey. Like I got it. The whole NATO summit is 2.5 hours. Maybe that's genius. I don't know. What's your opinion?
I think it's a waste of time to go fly all the way to the Netherlands, to The Hague or Rotterdam or wherever they fly to. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
and then and then um and then fly back.
Is
It's
this
like
his performative? Like all the decisions have really been made already. They're already on
I
whatever
don't know.
path. Like you're going there just to socialize, meet people,
I don't know.
reinforce relationships.
I don't know. It takes about 8 hours from DC to fly to the Netherlands,
It's not a casual flight.
Amsterdam.
That takes a minute.
Right. But if you're on Air Force One,
Oh, it's
it,
cakewalk.
no, it probably takes a lot longer.
Why?
It probably takes why? Because Air Force One does not fly direct routes like commercial airliners do. It zigzags all over the place like it's being chased by an alligator.
I wasn't aware of that.
It's yes. Air Force One does not
I'm
fly.
not an Air Force guy.
They fly weird patterns.
It's first class,
it's not randomized
leather seats,
patterns.
drinks, vaping, like whatever you want, like TV, video games, TikTok,
Oh, sure.
Twitter. You're like in an arcade.
I'm sure Trump is doing
food.
Twitter. Trump is on Air Force One doing Twitter for like
100%.
6 hours
100%.
out of that 10-hour flight.
All day. Yep.
They should graph when Trump travels, graph how many, the spike in his Twitter feed.
Probably it's doable. I think that's doable.
Yeah.
The data's
sure
out there.
Jumps. I'm sure it does. Hey, according to ChatGPT, Twitter was launched March 21st, 2006.
Ooh, it's been around a minute.
Almost 20 years.
It's been around a minute.
19 years. Yeah. So just over 19 years.
We're celebrating almost 20 years of spreading misinformation. Wow.
That's right. It is now the socialization of morons.
Correct.
Can provide you with information. So now,
correct.
Whatever information you think is true, it's out there, and you can justify anything. You think the world is flat?
You nailed it.
You think Bill Clinton is an alien? Somebody has already posted that as if it is true,
100 times.
True news.
And it's been liked a million times, right?
Yeah, at least a million times.
But humanity likes that. Humanity likes to dumb itself down. They like that.
Does it?
Yep.
I think humanity just likes to justify their pre-existing ideas.
Correct.
So, yeah. Let me show you a video. Let me show you a video here.
We're getting crazy here.
Yeah. Let's start wrapping it up. War Week Friday, but I want to show you this video. Here. Okay. This is in Odessa last night. Remember Monday's podcast? I talked about sitting in the restaurant overlooking the Black Sea and watching the air defense artillery start kicking off in an ISR bird. Well, last night, Russia attacked basically the very spot that I was sitting in. This is the restaurant I was sitting at.
Really?
This is the Nemo. Yes. And this right next door to it is the Nemo beach restaurant. Yeah.
Wow. You almost got whacked.
Well, no, it didn't hit the restaurant. I mean, it's right next to the restaurant. And there's secondary explosions going off. And this area right here, the center of that, it's a bunch of fountains. It was like a flat concrete thing with a bunch of fountains. And then that building right behind it is the Nemo Hotel, where they have the famous Odessa dolphins.
So terror attack, Russian terror attack.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
No military significance, just made up target.
No.
Just do stupid stuff.
Nope. Just maybe dodged a bullet. I doubt if, I would have been whacked. But
you could have ate a fragment. Thank you for your service.
And look at this. 2 days after I left Kherson, 20 people were injured in a drone attack right where I was in Kherson. What are the odds of that?
I think they're following your feed. Yeah, Russian intel is following your podcast feed.
Are they targeting my cell phone because it has a foreign SIM
they're targeting
card?
you. You're public enemy number one to
I
Russia.
doubt that. I think it's just bad luck. Just bad luck. Dodged another bullet. 2 bullets. You
They
know,
know who you are.
they
They're
don't
gunning
know me.
for you. Yep. They're gonna whack
I don't
you.
think they're gunning for me. But anyway, dodged a bullet there.
When you
Okay,
publish your book, you better say something different. You want to sell
something different
copies?
about Russia?
You
What?
better say something different
Oh,
about them targeting you. You better wake up and smell the coffee. I'm public enemy
oh,
number
does
one
that?
on the Kremlin
Yes,
hit list.
right.
I'm
I'm
bringing
Salman.
you, yes,
I'm the Salman Rushdie of
correct.
Russian literature.
You better
This
change your
is my
tune, bro.
satanic verses.
Hmm.
The Kremlin's after me.
Yep.
Yes, when I publish the book, I will definitely start saying that.
That should be
That
your title.
bullshit.
Public enemy number one.
That's, you're
And then
good at
whatever your
titles.
subtitle is.
You're really good at making up
Picture of
titles.
you eating a Twinkie in Odessa. That'd be great.
Yeah, it war as hell. I still remember last week when my hotel didn't have running water.
Oh, yeah,
That was
you
hell.
had a bird.
It was that was hell.
This is
All right,
outrageous. How come there's no water?
I don't think you can.
Typical MI guy.
Let's end on a couple of videos. I got 2 videos. If I can find them. Let's see.
Remember, you
Okay.
can't just watch them. You got to put them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them up. Okay. This first video is of
Oh,
a well, it's not that, but this is of a FPV drone. A Russian soldier surrenders to an FPV drone, and
right.
I've seen stuff like this before.
Yeah.
This is the latest one. Let me see if it. Oh, is it not playing? He's standing there. Maybe it won't play. Oh no.
Yeah, there's been several cases of Ukrainian drones flying up the Russians. I think sometimes they drop a message like "Follow me" if you want to
Yeah.
surrender, or maybe they just know something's just hovering over you, and it goes away. And comes back. Oh, here we go.
Okay. Now I've seen that before. Look at the drone. I'll look how close he is, and he's just raising his hand. He's like, "Look, you got me.
Well,
There's nothing
yeah,
I can do."
You're dead. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. This video is good. We're having technical problems here. Okay, there he is, and he's just following the drone
Ooh, concertina wire.
through triple strand concertina wire.
Oh, that's real hard to get past.
Well, they already broke a path through the concertina wire previously, I guess. And the drone is escorting him to Ukrainian front lines
I'll take that deal.
versus being blown in half. Yeah, I'll surrender to a drone.
Does he? It looks
There's
like
no
he
pride
is. It looked like he didn't have any pant leg below his right knee. Maybe I just didn't see that right.
I'm surprised that he's surrendering with his plate carrier and Kevlar on. Usually they
See, look at so
take
he
that
doesn't.
off.
His pants have been ripped or blown off from his
Yeah.
right knee down. I'm guessing he's wounded or injured.
He might
Smart.
have caught a FPV before, and
Smart
then when the
move,
second
dude.
one came, he's like, "I'm out of here.
You're alive."
That's enough." Here's let's end on this video. This is the video of the Russian Su-25
That we debated,
that we thought was shot
but maybe
down,
he's not up for debate. Yeah.
but the wing just fell off. So let's watch this.
And by the way, for the listenership, that's not a good thing if you're in an airplane.
No, these things are really old. I mean, they're 40 years old, right?
With no
Some of them.
maintenance, with like almost no maintenance. Russians
Probably very
hate
little
doing
maintenance.
maintenance.
So here
For some
comes,
reason, they just don't believe in it.
you know,
One plane,
two-ship
two
little
plane.
little group. They make a hard banking turn, and the wing
There goes
just
the
falls
wing.
right off. Poof.
Wow,
Yeah,
that was quick.
apparently the pilot ejected and
Yeah, there's the
only broke
wing.
his arm. Yeah.
A stress on the airframe, and a lot of the stress is where the wing meets the fuselage, and over time, you know that in the Air Force. I didn't understand that at first. Where like when you're doing like supply runs, they drop the supply weight after a while. They're like, it's too much airframe stress, and you see it right there if this stuff isn't maintained and upgraded, and you have less airframes, you're using them over and over again. Shit like that happens. Wing falls off.
Yeah, the Sukhoi 25 is the
Ground
equivalent
attack?
to our A-10. It's ground attack. It's equivalent to our A-10 Warthog. It's got the same titanium bathtub that the pilot sits in. It's got a 30 millimeter GAU.
Ooh, that's big.
They don't call it the GAU, but they've got the BERT.
That's
their
a
own
big
version
gun.
of BERT. Yeah.
Well,
got to do your maintenance.
Have a nice day. So now that plane's gone, your remaining aircraft have to do more work. So this vicious cycle, unless you're like, the U.S. strips their airplanes down to the frame and rebuilds them essentially. Unless they're doing that or building new planes, then the remaining aircraft just do more missions and put more hours on the frames, and then the wear and tear just increases.
It's just indicative of how screwed up the Russian army continues to be. So it didn't get shot down.
Nope.
It just broke. Flying around, breaks.
No maintenance. No updated aircraft.
Stupid Russians doing stupid Russian things.
And then we wonder why they've advanced 1% in the last 6 months.
Poor Russia. Hey, if you're listening to the Flash Traffic podcast all the way to the end, you must find something interesting about this podcast.
Or you're desperate.
Or you're desperate, or you're super bored, or it just kind of
something really wrong in your life.
Right. You're in a dark place.
Buy my book.
Buy his
book. No. Don't buy my book if you're in a dark place. That ain't going to help you.
It'll help you get more sleep though, and if you're in a dark place, you're probably not getting much sleep. But we don't have a Patreon site. We don't ask you to buy us a coffee. We only ask for one simple thing. If you could just send the link to the podcast to everyone in your contact list.
All of them.
Because hey, you might rekindle some old relationships.
Did you say Kindle? My book is available on Kindle. Oh,
Kindle,
my bad. I thought that was a segue.
I'm not that smart.
That's a good segue, man. I got to use that again.
I'm not that smart to put that together.
Did you say Kindle?
Yes, you might rekindle an old relationship, or they might think, oh, this person is very intellectual. He listens to a podcast on the Ukraine war, until they actually listen to the podcast themselves. And then they will
know that you got issues, bro.
You listen to a couple of buffoons. You listen to morons. You must be a moron. But that's okay.
But that's neither here nor there.
That's right. Please, we do ask that you forward the link to the podcast.
To your parents, to your grandparents. Yes. They want to listen.
And if you're listening to this on audio, the Spotify does play the video portion of this. Oh. And it's also found on YouTube. If you want to watch our mugs.
It's riveting.
Talk
you should
about
do that. Yeah, right.
Things. It'll be on YouTube. The YouTube link I will put in the show notes. So you can go to the show notes in Spotify and then click on that link and watch it on YouTube. Watch it at your leisure.
We didn't even curse this podcast.
We did. We did once.
Did?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Normally we curse
clean.
A lot.
It's almost a clean podcast this time.
No, I always have to check the explicit material button on Spotify. We never get
for mature 18 years
it's
old
not
and
for
older,
children.
Right? No.
It's not 12 and 13 and up. It's PG-13.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Flash Traffic Podcast.